Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Deadfire with me, Break It Dawn. Let's meet with our VTC contact in the Luminous Bathhouse.
Right.
She's probably upstairs. It's also possible she doesn't appear until daybreak, but I find that unlikely. There she is.
You and I, we have a mutual friend, do we not?
She grins widely, tongue pressing pink between her teeth. Now let's play it more subtle. Just tell me what I need to do.
A Royal Deadfire operative, Quarno, and his Principio associate, Tola, will meet tonight to discuss the details of a business arrangement. They have bought out the entire first floor for privacy's sake. Even Gunnar, their proprietor, will excuse himself.
That seemed like a very good idea if you're trying to set up a clandestine meeting. I feel like buying out establishments draws too much attention to yourself.
Only bathhouse attendants will be allowed to remain to ensure their comfort. You understand?
What can you tell me about Quarno?
He is a snake in the body of a man. Though he is supposedly the Royal Deadfire Company's man, he always seems to be working some deal on the side.
Anything I should know about Tola?
Tola is fond of drink, and her tongue flaps loosely when she has had too much of it.
What do you need me to do?
I will disguise you as a bathhouse attendant, so you might observe their meeting. With luck and some cunning, you may be able to discover the details of their special arrangement. You will not be able to take your gear, but do not worry. Should the situation get out of hand, there will be a stash of weapons hidden in one of the changing booths. But I am sure it will not come to that.
She smiles broadly. Do I have to be unarmed?
They will not believe you an attendant if you carry a blade.
Her mouth quirks into a playful smile.
But do not fear. I would not throw you to the wolves. Remember, should you have need of them, there is a stash of weapons in one of the changing booths.
You can't do this yourself.
I have had dealings with Tolar in the past, and I am certain she will recognize me. Hence why I have requested assistance from Director Castle, though it pains me to do so.
She grimaces and looks away. I'm ready to infiltrate the meeting.
Gelarde. Then you will take your disguise, and I shall take your equipment, Ak.
Her voice drops to a conspiratorial whisper.
Take this rice wine as well. Perhaps you will find use of it, eh?
She winks. There's Quarno and Tola. Let's start with Quarno. Quarno leans against the wall of the bath and regards you skeptically. He wrinkles his nose and grimaces. The golden torque around his neck and gemstones in his ears glimmer in the low light.
If I grow hungry or thirsty, I will call for you. Until such a time, leave me in peace.
Okay, let's not provoke him. As you wish. The water effects in this game are so cool. A boisterous woman with a long sunburned nose motions you to approach. Her eyes droop half closed, and the stench of liquor wafts off of her.
Ah, what timing. Lounging in all this water's making me thirsty.
Bow and give her a bottle of rice wine. She drinks deep from the bottle and releases it with a belch and smack of her lips. She regards you through red-rimmed eyes and slowly looks you up and down.
You seem familiar. Do I know you? Or is it the wine that makes me think so?
She hiccups.
It's probably the wine.
Tola stares at you unsteadily, her eyes half closed. Porno told me about you. He thinks you're important.
That's because I am.
She gives you a broad grin that she finishes off with a belch as loud as cannon fire.
I'm no queen of Nekataka, but I do alright. I captain a ship for the Principe, and the big grouchy guy back there, Quano, works for the Royal Deadfire Company. Sometimes, when he's not doing stuff on the sides. Doing stuff like selling me cannons. That's what we're celebrating. Did I mention that?
What brings you to the bathhouse tonight?
My large friend and I are celebrating a business transaction. But I can't say anymore.
She rolls her eyes and casts a look back at the Amoa man reclining on a bench behind her. Give her another bottle of rice wine. She grabs the bottle and chugs the entirety of its contents without taking a break. She sways a bit when she sets the bottle down and gives you a bleary-eyed grin. It sent weird on the mural behind it. Couldn't tell what word it was at first.
Has anyone ever told you you're great? 'Cause you are really great. You should ditch this stupid bathhouse. Join my crew. I just got a bunch of fancy new cannons from Quano. We'll be the terrors of the Deadfire. It'll be fun.
What do you plan to do with all that firepower?
I'm gonna blow up some Valian trading company ships and take their luminous Ardra. But shh. Don't tell anyone. It's a secret.
Her words run together in a drunken slurry. Anything else I can get for you?
No, I've already had too much.
She hiccups. Bow and leave. Check out the Corno one more time. And that must be the weapon stash.
I still have no need of you.
He scowls at you and mutters something about the overeager attendants at the bathhouse. Quick save. I don't know if grabbing these weapons will automatically hostile these guys. But it's free money. Hold on a second. Aloth has different undergarments than my main character in Adair. A little bit more provocative. Who knew Aloth was so scandalous?
Sure.
Report to Director Castle once you've learned what you can.
Alright, that's what the quest log did say. Do we have our equipment? Oh yeah, we need to start grinding this out. I guess I can have my paladin use it for a bit. Or also give that to Adair.
Huh? Right.
Now, I would have thought a dagger would do piercing damage as well. Well, instead of slashing, I guess we'll give it to Adair. When he's done with this, we'll equip that again. Or equip that for the first time. Now, let's return to Queen's Berth, report to Director Castle. Assume he'll have more work for us.
For all your doubt in the gods, how can you believe animancers are any more responsible?
The gods have never done right by me. Animancers have. Even a little responsibility is better than none at all.
You place too much faith in them. Given the same license, they'll be just as bad.
Yeah, but animancers, there's more checks and balances. I mean, there's checks and balances with the gods as well. They used us as an agent to stop Woedica in the first game. But they have just a little bit too much power. With animancers, they have peers that keep them in check. I mean, there's some that get out of hand, of course. And that's the case with any sort of progress. The gods are much worse. I mean, Andre tried to throw a moon at Aora. But thanks to the checks of the other gods, Abaddon took it to the face and lost his body. And a lot of the bad that came from Animancy was because of the leaden key. They sabotaged a lot of the projects. We don't really know how beneficial Animancy would have been up to this point.
You've been a great assistance to us in the city, I hear. A great many glowing reports.
How's that anti-religious?
Now then, did you have a reason for coming by?
I took care of things at the bathhouse.
Perfetto. What did you discover?
Orno was selling gunpowder and weapons to the Principe.
Diverus? That is worse than I suspected. Please, explain. Spare me no details.
So it's possible you didn't get this information from Tola, if you didn't give her the second rice wine. That's also, since we do have the information, it's like we can sabotage the quest. But no one asked us to do that. Tola is planning on using Royal Deadfire Company weapons against a Valian trading company convoy carrying Luminous Adra.
Madiko, our convoy routes are meant to be a well-guarded secret. I might as well have sent the Principe a letter.
That's all.
That is enough to work with. Aggressiva. I do believe I'm going to ruin Quarno's day. I do have another matter I could use your assistance with, Watcher. If you have a moment.
More trouble at the bathhouse.
Not quite, though you may feel the need for a personal visit yourself after.
Castle smiles thinly at some private jest.
It concerns a business associate, a captain by the name of Ferrante. Something of a notable figure among the Principi, I'm told.
So you're taking a page from Quarno's book.
Believe me, the irony is painful. Still, I think there is a clear difference. Quarno sought to improve his own fortunes, whereas this, I do for the company. Captain Ferrante will have the details, but the matter concerns a contact of his on the island of Crookspur.
So you're that guy. Well, I think our business has concluded.
Apparently, they're having some trouble out there with the hostile tribe. You help them, Ferrante helps the company. You've proven resourceful. You make the logical choice.
You're not telling me something.
I would not normally enter into such pacts with the likes of Ferrante. The company's assets are in some disarray. Our resources are not what they once were.
And so you stoop to slavery? Absolutely not.
It is a shameful state of affairs, but I am doing what I can to remedy the situation. You'll find Ferrante in Dunnage. Dunnage is a den for pirates, as you might imagine. You'll likely be in less danger there than on the sea, but all the same, I recommend extreme caution. Watcher. Yeah?
Yeah, luckily we already have that quest. We're gonna burn Crookspur Island to the ground. At least the slave trade there. So we do have this quest for the Royal Deadfire Company to the west of Neketaka. I also want to head to the Oathbinder Sanctum for Adair's weapon.
Yeah?
So go all the way to the bottom. Thought we had to open up a shortcut. We did. Alright, it's now superb. Oh, an executioner. Low-level Kith enemies are killed on critical hits with the weapon. Awesome. And let it be known, finally, the magistrate and their staff are strictly forbidden use of the cudgel for unsanctioned acts, and that no exceptions shall be made except at the sole discretion, our most beloved fair coding, LMHR. Well, fantastic. Alright, so we'll knock this one out next. So really doing this, I feel like it just seems better on my paladin. I don't want to use a dagger on my paladin, but ugh, I'm gonna sully my paladin's hands with this thing. Some of these we probably don't need. Animancy Cat, Ozzy. Auto Star Cat will stay. Peter, Lude, Little Babs will stay, and Console Hot will stay. Alright, let's bind it. Yuck. Deal 250 burn damage. Super easy.
Huh? Mm-hmm. Huh? Huh?
But know that I'm not happy about it. That's gonna be with Widla. Alright. Right here on the edge of the fog of war. I know I keep calling it fog of war, but I understand we're not at war with the entirety of the Deadfire. A long sleek ship rides low in the water. Its crew stands protectively around a cluster of crates positioned on the main deck. A woman saunters across the deck, roughly chopped hair swinging with her stride.
We said or not, Perrin.
She bangs her fist against one of the crates. The dwarven man standing near her flinches, as though she'd hit him.
I'd happily tell you if you stopped interrupting my count.
He sighs dramatically. He rolls his eyes skyward. She cackles and thumps him on the back. He staggers forward and shoots her a venomous glare.
You've had days to count. Now it's time we talked about the price.
She turns her attention to you, eyes gleaming. Perrin follows her gaze. His eyes go wide. He clears his throat.
Careful. This one's got friends in the Consuelo.
In that case, I'll honor the original price. Consider that a discount among friends.
Whittler gives you a once-over. I knew it. She's gonna try and extort us for more money. But wasn't it Sura? The Ranga said that our ties with the Principe would help. Give 1,000 copper. Deal.
Glad we could do business.
The smugglers unload the crates onto your ship. Your new cargo secured. Retract the anchor and let out your sails. I do like it when things go the way they're supposed to. Oh, that's right, I have to go to Sayuka, not Nekataka. All the way up there, so in that case... let's continue exploring the south. As you crew haul the smuggler's crates below decks, one of them shouts an alarm. Rumdem Gary finds you in your cabin. Captain, come quick. Someone's just popped out of one of those crates we picked up. Before you can object, Rumdem Gary leads you above deck. A plump, middle-aged woman stands beside the crates. Her clothing is rumpled and her hair matted, but her eyes twinkle with triumph.
Gelarde, 23 days! This is a new record.
She smells of stale urine, old sweat, and worse, but she beams at you all the same. What were you doing in there?
Waiting to reach Sayuka, of course. Also testing my newest spell, Renove Miseres.
She speaks the name as proudly as if it belonged to her firstborn. What?
Renewal of air, you would say. Kith have explored every mountain in the eastern reach, yet the realm of fish and leviathans remains close to us. It has been my dream to open these steps to discovery, to let Kith breathe as the fishes do.
A look of wonder shines in her eyes.
Or at least to let us use the air of a single breath again and again.
Well, why go to Sayuka? Why leave the Valian Republic?
Back home, they care only for profit, and there is little profit to be had in sticking your head in the glass bucket to watch the fish. But the Rawatayans, they have vision. They chase greater things than gold. So I go to work with them.
Let me get this straight. You've been perfecting a spell that recycles air, and you'll use it to help the Rawatayans make something big.
So you do understand.
She nods proudly.
But I can say no more. The Rawatayans, they have sworn me to secrecy.
She presses her lips together. What exactly are you going to be working on at Sayuka?
Sintere, but I had promised not to say.
She looks sincerely regretful. I still understand why you had to hide in a crate.
Neither do I.
But Okaya, she thinks maybe the Dukes will not be so happy to let me go. She shrugs.
At least it gave me plenty of time to test my work.
That's all, I suppose.
Yes, I have much to do. Many more tests to run before we reach Sayuka. A pleasure talking, Captain.
Okay. I assumed she was a stowaway, but it turns out she's the cargo. How did she get to me? Maya has returned to rejoin your crew.
Captain, a word?
Takeu's eyes widen in proportion to his smile. What's on your mind?
You came to the Deadfire for your own reasons. The problems of others, they must be noisy obstacles by comparison. We both know the burden of being looked to as a source of hope. What say?
It isn't a problem until the gods start making demands.
And you wish for a moment of silence to dampen the rabble.
Letting out a sigh and planting his hands on his hips, Takeu grins with deep satisfaction. He locks his eyes with yours and makes no move to break the contact. You look like you want to get something off your chest.
Ikera, just so. All the powers of the Deadfire have their eyes on the Watcher of Cadnua. Tell me, is the Watcher watching anyone?
He tips his head coyly to the side, letting his hair drape down with a moist squish. Oh, that's right, I did romance Jody. I keep forgetting. Yeah, Jody and I are awfully close.
Ah, so innocence and piety inflamed your desire.
Intrigued, Takehiro rubs his chin and nods.
A pity you did not glance in my direction sooner, Captain. The pain of a missed opportunity. It is divine, I say.
Shrugging, he opens his palms by his sides, his smile uninterrupted and in every way unconcerned. I had other questions.
What say, Captain?
That's it. And there's Maya.
So, we're back. Did you miss us?
Maya smiles a little, the side of her mouth twitching, as Shiza offers a friendly squawk. No is honest. Of course I missed you, Maya.
Well, thanks. It was just me and the bird for a couple of days, and we're sick to death of each other. Something happened out there, and it's got me all turned around.
Maya fixes her attention on a distant point. Speak your mind.
I didn't exactly deliver a missive. That parchment was meant for me, and I delayed opening it as long as I could.
She folds her arms.
Atsura gave me a name and a location. That was all. When you're a sharpshooter by trade and your boss doesn't offer clarification, you learn to arrive at your own conclusions.
Go on.
The rub of it is, my target wasn't some ship's captain or an ogre swinging a fence post. He was the Ranga of a Huana tribe.
She raises her brow and studies you for any reaction. Why don't you start from the beginning? Nodding to you, Maya shrugs away some tension that you hadn't noticed before.
The village was beachside. No sign of foreign occupation. I might have been the first outsider to make land in quite a while. They were just simple folk going about their lives. Couldn't have been more than 50 of them. Their Ranga, though? He had a voice that carried, that echoed in the hearts of his people.
Eyes narrow as she concentrates on a far-off point. What did he speak about?
He called for unity with the neighboring tribes, the setting aside of bad blood. His people listened, and listened well. He was my target. You can guess what happened next.
Maya shrugs, squeezing her forearms to release some tension. Tell me anyway.
I picked a spot and a time of day. Morning, west-facing, plenty of tree cover. The light was in my favor. The winds were low. He left his hut, mussed his kid's hair, and set off for the beach on the other side of the island, checking lobster traps. Ishi followed him overhead, and I followed him with my sights, holding my breath, waiting for the right moment. And then I stopped. I pictured all those captains I'd riddled with holes and wondered, is this how we treat civilians? Is this how wars are won?
And you spared his life.
No, I killed him all right. I shot him in the back of the head. He was a corpse before he hit the ground.
She opens her fingers like a flower blooming.
It took a while for his kin to find him, but only seconds to figure out that he didn't die of a weak heart.
She chews her bottom lip and glances towards Ashiza. I'm sure the hole in his head was compelling evidence.
Atsura hired me for my accuracy and because I blend in around here. Not my tidiness. This tribe surprised me. They acted like I kicked over their anthill. They got mad. They got to work. The old Ranga went onto a pyre, and the new one snapped into place. She took up the call for unity while the embers were still warm.
Maya shakes her head, grinning a little.
Acted like I hadn't just killed her boss for doing the same thing.
Did it make a difference to you that the Rongo was a civilian?
Of course. I shoot to disrupt soldiers and end conflicts. Not to stifle ideas or crush spirits. That's Valian work.
Have we been delivering assassination missions this whole time?
Fair question. Short answer? I don't know.
She frowns down at Ashiza.
Atsura uses different codes for each of us. I could teach myself to write Ingwithan before I cracked another agent's instructions.
So killing the chieftain didn't rattle the tribe.
They mourned, they seethed, they tore at their hair. But they rebuilt. By the time I left, they were talking about peace with the other tribes like it was inevitable.
A slow smile of astonishment rises to her face. Doesn't sound like your mission was a success.
I completed my mission. I leave Atsura to worry about whether or not it was a success.
Sighing to herself, Maya tugs at her hair bun, wearing a loose lock.
If you don't mind, I need to let this brew in my head for a while and see what bubbles up. Thanks for letting me unload in the meantime. We should talk to Atsura. He'll want to know that I've done as he asked.
Give me one reason why I shouldn't tell everyone in the Deadfire about this. She blinks slowly, her expression vacant as she gives the silence of the moment its deserving weight.
You have no evidence. I'll deny everything, and the Navy will forget they ever knew me.
Maya folds her arms.
3 reasons. Now back off, Captain. I need to clean my gun.
Maya turns from you and says no more. Alright. I'm gonna call it here. Next time, I guess we'll return to Neketaka and report to Atsura. And go from there. But for now, thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.